What's going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to another Crystal of Atlan video. All right, guys, we're going to talk a little bit about end game content, what's there to do, what you should be focusing on, and where you want to take your account. Now, I've got 3 units right here. I'm going to give you guys some tips and tricks and some things you should absolutely consider when you're playing this game, especially if you're looking to get to end game content and how quickly you want to do it and what you should be doing at that point. So first off, my first unit is a fighter who became a Klaus Rider, who is a free-to-play account. This is my complete free-to-play account character. You guys can see I've got 28,518 power. I've kind of had a hate and love relationship with this. Great for PvP, not that great for PvE in my opinion. Scytheguard, of course, when I want to build her, she will end up being one of the main support units in the game. Great healer, amazing sustainability, and incredible pretty much all content. So almost a must-have unit for any team that wants to take endgame content seriously. And then I've got my main DPS. This is my pay-to-win character, who is my Berserker. I'm in love with this class. This is my main class. I'm probably going to play this class, and I just started it. So a couple things to note. I'm going to jump into this account about the actual end game content. All right. So first off, level 60. That's currently where most of the good gear is going to reside. Okay. So you're going to want to farm level 60 all the way through. Now, when you hit the story mode and you completed all the elites, you completed all the regulars, you're going to be roughly about level 55-ish to 60 when you do it. Now, if you're a free-to-play winner or player, you're going to want to use a lot of your stamina to level all the other characters. If you're a pay-to-win player, though, there's actually a nifty little item that'll help you get through all of this pain and heartache of leveling using stamina, and that is going to be these little tickets right here. If you see, I'm clicking on one. It's called the Advancer's Pass. Now, they sell these in the shop, and if you use these, you can immediately upgrade your current character to level 55 with 0 experience points required. This item can be used only specifically in areas Lumiville. If you're not in the area while using it, please follow the map's guide. It'll take you directly there. Okay, you guys can see it's untradeable, it's unshareable. Don't make the mistake that I made and get all of them for one character. It's not a good thing, because you guys can see here, if I even want to trade it or give it over to somebody else, I can't, right? You guys can see there's a storage system in place. In my personal account, I can't even store it. If I go to my regular account or my account, my storage account, I can't even store it there either. So this is a big problem. I made a mistake. Don't do the same mistake I made, okay? So do not do that, guys. This is not going to be possible to trade. So you're going to have to, unfortunately, see, I can't put it because it's grayed out. And if it says untradeable, you can't do it. So that's one way to get to the top level. Outside of that, you're going to use stamina, of course, whether it's the shared stamina or the account stamina or the regular stamina. It doesn't matter. Now, when you've hit end game content, what's the point? What do you do? Where is all of your time going to be spent? So there's 2 different places you're really going to spend in the beginning, and then a third final place that most of your time is going to be spent with the collaboration of probably your fleet or friends you've made along the way or people in the community from the Discord. And I highly recommend, guys, get into the Discord. Now, a couple of things you want to know. First off, temper trials. This is something you can do at any time. Do it. Get yourself more gold. It's worthwhile doing just because gold is probably one of those things that you're going to run out of really quickly, especially if you're crafting gear or just even upgrading gear. It's one of the hardest thing in this game to do, okay? So we'll talk more about gold as well, too. Now, temper trials, do this on your own time, not a big deal. Void realm is somewhere you're going to actually focus on, okay? So keep that in mind. You guys can see today's progress. I've got 6 out of 6 right over here. I've got 0 out of 18, 0 out of 48, and then of course I've got the weekly rewards as well too. So you're gonna have to do this at least once or twice or 3 times to get yourself the material you need in order to move on. Now, if you're wondering what's available here, you guys can see ultra engraving gear is available, which lets you upgrade your void shadow gear from pink to legendary orange, right? So that can be done from here. These are going to be insignias that you're going to want to get for your gear. The maga trim here is going to be to craft epic gear and enhancement inheritance stones, also dismantling into magitrites. And then this over here, the epic shards, of course, you're going to be getting for your classes. So these are all the main things you're going to get from this place. This is somewhere you absolutely want to do a few times, but you don't want to focus mainly here. That's not what you want to put all your efforts into. What you actually want to focus on, which is going to give you probably the best amount of bang for your buck, especially for your stamina purposes, is going to be right over here in the adventure section. If you go all the way down to the abyssal purgatory, this is where you actually want to spend most of your time. Now, this is going to require a few different things. It's going to require you to use your hunter tickets, right? And that's going to also require you to use quite a bit of stamina. So make sure you're going to be doing this for quite some time. And it drops level 56 to 60, at least that's the recommended. And you guys can see here in terms of drops, again, drops the Chaos Breaker insignias, drops the Magatrium, gives you epic shards, gives you guys strategic codes as well too, and these are admissions to the hex chest, which we're going to talk about shortly as well, and then epic circuits and more. So there's potentially other drops as well too, such as gear. And you guys can see right on top it says there's a prayer. If you actually pray, you'll get a chance to get yourself the gear that you're looking for. This is something that you're going to have to do over time. I don't have any Abyss Disirium, so that's something you're going to have to get later on. So let's go into the challenge here and show you guys what this is all about. You guys can see again, a lot of shards are going to drop mostly. And then at the same time, you're looking for any type of gear that's epic or it's for your class, because there's set drops that will drop. Right now, you're going to probably get some drops here that you're not going to be very happy about, and that's very normal, guys. Getting yourself, other class drops is going to be part of the game, and you're going to have to live with that, unfortunately, as we all do. And that's just RNG being RNG in any RPG, right? So keep that in mind. Now, you can, of course, trade all of that stuff over to a class that can use it. So don't worry. It's not like you can't, you can't do anything with that stuff. You can also equip it if it's got higher nullification, right? So that's an important one as well. So you guys can see how quick that goes, right? That was the fight by myself. And again, you can see the drops here. We got ourselves some circuits. We have ourselves some of these epic magic magician shards. We got ourselves, let's see, do we have any berserker ones? We got 3 berserker shards, right? And you guys can see when you get enough of these, you can then go ahead and craft yourself some gear. So this is where you're actually going to be spending 90% of your time playing this game, because you're going to want to actually go ahead and get as much null as you can. Now, the purpose of null, and I'm going to explain this to you guys, a lot of people still don't know because they're not there yet. Nullification essentially is your entry into the harder content. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys real quick here. If I click on this, right, and I go to, let's just say co-op battles, right? This right here is the 4-player raid. This is the main raid in the game. You guys can see there's a story to it as well. You can do elite, story, or solo. And in here you have nullification, right? The first one shows daily rewards 1 out of 1, 3 out of 3. I've got that one done. It's 1,500 nullification. Nullification essentially is what gear level, not gear level, but it's part of your gear. You guys can see right over here. If I go to my gear right here and I click on this, you'll see right where it says additional attributes, nullification plus 250. Your goal is to get gear with higher end nullification, and the higher end the gear, the more nullification you'll get. For example, this one has 580, right? So this is going to be a higher end one. You see it's for a gunner though. Ideally, I'd want to switch it out, but right now I'm going to keep it in for the nullification. So you need to get as much nullification as you can on your gear in order to do the higher end content. So this is what the purpose is of doing the Abyssal Purgatory. I find this to be the best value for what it gives. You guys can see here, I'm going to jump in again and do it one more time. And this will give me, hopefully, some gear that I'm looking for along the way. And then Hex Chest itself is a full-on raid. Think of like World of Warcraft dungeons, not like 16, 20-man, 24-man raids, but just think of like the dungeons, 4-man raids, right? They're very difficult. They have a lot of gimmicks, and they have a lot of mechanics that you'll have to pay attention to. A lot of red dots, a lot of gimmick. Like I said, a lot of bosses do different things. You'll have to pay quite a bit of attention in order to get the job. And there's a nice little circuit there, an epic one. So nothing really good there. We're going to quit and we're going to jump back in and do it again. So in order to get to that end game content, you're going to need to farm a lot of gear. And this is where you're going to spend most of your time. Now, I suggest farming gear because, like I mentioned before, to craft gear, you're going to spend millions upon millions of gold. And I do want to talk about one more thing before I end this video, and that is the trade system where most end game players are going to be using to get themselves some gold. End game content, guys, cost an arm and a leg for gear. It's insane how much it costs. I'll show you guys very shortly just how much it costs to just even level up one piece of gear, let alone craft a piece of gear, which many of you guys are going to be doing anyway. So let me finish this up. Let's go into it, and I'll show you guys exactly the cost of some endgame gear and what you want to do to kind of get away from having to spend that much, okay? You guys can see here we got a little bit of a coupon. What is this? The Wondrous Workshop coupon. Excellent. We want those. Those are good. Okay, so we're going to exit here and watch. I'm going to go to the crafting section, and you guys will see right now how much it costs to craft. It's pretty insane. Okay, so hold on a sec. So there's gold. You guys can see right away, like this is my pay to win account. And from a gold perspective, I've got myself enough here to probably get by with crafting 1 or 2 pieces, right? But let's just say I want to craft something new. Let's say I want to get a new piece here. Okay, so I want to do this one, for example, right? So first off, in order to craft, you need the materials. The materials are important. And you guys can see here in terms of materials, you need yourself like the older item, and then you need to get yourself some of the Magtrium, right? So if I go down here, and let's just say I want to craft this item here. Okay, so I go to craft. Okay, you'll see it'll take you right to the shop. You'll just go down and talk to Glenn, who is the crafter. And right over here, you guys can see this is 30K to craft. This is 30K to craft, 30K to craft, 30K to craft, right? So that's how much you're going to be doing. Now, if you go to the sacred stuff, it's 2 million. 2 million, guys, in order to craft that. So that is very, very expensive, right? And if you're looking for like a comparison between how good this gear is versus what you have, well, you guys can see there, it's 580 with nullification versus 250, and all the stats are much, much higher. So this is where you're going to be focusing a lot of your stuff on, is going to be crafting this gear, but it's going to cost a lot. So what do you do with gold? What's the purpose here? For end game content, a lot of your gold is going to be being done through the trade system. Okay, so you guys see right over here, I'll click on it. There's a trade mechanic right there. Well, you can sell things that you have, right? I'm trying to sell all these items here. This is overpriced for sure. I'm just hoping somebody buys it. I don't think they will, but this is overpriced. You guys can see the displays. There's things on sale here. Now you need some of these items in order to craft some of the higher end items, right? So this is going to be something you'll definitely need to focus on, guys, and you're going to need to spend some gold doing this. So you guys can see some hex cross stuff. This is hex chest stuff because, again, this is the higher end content, so it's going to sell for a lot more. In terms of gear, you guys can see there's gear here, and people who are going to be selling this gear are going to be selling it hopefully for higher end eventually, because they want people to buy who are desperate whales and looking to spend. So you're going to, again, spend a lot of your time in the abyssal purgatory doing that until you can do hex chest content, and then you go from there. All right, guys. That's pretty much it. Outside of that, there's really nothing much more to do outside of like PvP. If you're into Mine Wars, you can do that, of course. There's, of course, the Fleet Frenzy, which is fighting against specific leveled bosses. And that is one of the major things that I enjoy doing in this game, is playing with my community. But I'm looking forward to do some hex chests with this character, and I'm hoping to continue leveling up, getting more content for you guys out there. I hope you guys are enjoying the game. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.